Okay? And I think I see my caboose. All right, very good. Always good to see you, sir. All right, let me quickly welcome you to the Stillwater Room, so named because of this mineralized water line running around the perimeter of the chamber. Now, that water line in rock tells you that water was sitting at that level for a really long time. Now, geologists have dated the water line at over 430,000 years. Well, the water eventually drained down through the hole at the bottom. But essentially, at the top, you're looking at a ring in a natural bathtub. Well, the ladder here is an old human artifact of this cave, discovered in 1985 by a cleanup crew. They discovered it in a much more remote area of the cave. We think the ladder dates back to the late 1800s. All right, folks, if you'll follow me, there is another low point down here. Watch your heads if you need to.
I know, look at the color. And there's water up there.
There's the water. I think you can drink that water.
No.
It's mineral.
We've got mineral.
In order. Got the massive shield around the corner to my left, and a literal top to our front. They run off to the right. Now, folks, when you remember that most caverns do not have one of these, to be in a place where you see so many is absolutely outstanding. And again, remember, yeah, shields are rare, but they're not rare here. And geologically, this is precisely why the United States Department of the Interior ranked this cavern the first entity
Yeah,
in the
it's
Commonwealth.
mud. Yeah, it looks like it's mud. It's just water though, dripped on the rock.
First.
Ew.
Yeah.
All right, folks, follow me. You guys to have a rail
the same time. How do you like that accent? So I can say that because I'm a native Virginia.
Well, they put it here so that we could walk easier.
Careful, careful. We got some room over here also.
Water in there.
There's the water.
Yeah, down in there. It looks like it. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe not.
It's good in water.
I don't know. I see dripping. Is there water? No, I don't think that's water. I was just seeing things. Yeah.
All right, folks, this area has been known as the Persian Palace since the 19th century. Again, remember, of course, the 19th century is not the 1900s, it's the 1800s. We're in the 21st century today. Now, there's a number of shields here. The Victorian visitors of the 19th century knew that one as the chandelier. Today, the Liberty Bell shield, because of its bell-like profile and crack. This popped the lower plate. Remember, they're made up of two plates. Both plates are on this one. We know that because of the drapery coming off the lower of the two. There is no drapery there. Probable earthquake damage down here. It's another shield. It's lying on its side like roadkill. Thing would have dropped. I would estimate that weighs around 3 tons. Look at what it did to those stalagmites on impact. Down below, you have the chapel in the 19th century. There were weddings conducted down here, church services, drama presentations. You'll note the seating carved out in what is really a prehistoric mound of clay that was deposited in here when water was flowing through the cavern, carving it out, and of course when the Shenandoah Valley was an inland sea, water on top of the ground as well. This was also probably a rest stop in the 1800s as well. I can move over this way. Folks, I'm going to have you move over here where my light is also. We're going to be looking in multiple directions.
Yeah.
By the way, if
Is this
anybody
neat?
does need to sit
I need
down,
to still.
bench here, and there's a bench right over there.
What's
right
wrong?
Right there.
You okay?
All right, folks. Right here, you're really up close and personal to the vertical limestone bed. Now, we're currently standing under a massive vault, or archway, if you prefer. It goes way over there, drops off just beyond where they carved out those seats where the prehistoric clay is. So it's a massive arch. I want you to notice the swirl in the rock right here. Now, geologists indicate that what you're looking at here is the remains of a prehistoric stromatolite colony, or blue-green algae. Now, remember that you are in a type of marine environment. This is a limestone cavern. And what is limestone? Well, for the most part, limestone is the skeletal remains of prehistoric marine life. So your tour today is literally in a fossilized cemetery. Now, bringing you forward closer to your own lifetime, starting in 1839, all in this chamber, an event was started called the Grand Illumination and Ball. That means that people from all over the region would come here in order to dance by candlelight underground in a cave. What do you think about that? Well, the chamber acquired the name the Grand Ball. Well, if you know this stalagmite right here, this is where ladies would stand placing their hand on top, and this is where they were hitched up to gentlemen for a dance. Hence, it was called the hitching post. We think the band was located in this natural pit. You look over here very quickly. This table-like formation right here, that is completely natural, not carved out, that was used as a bar for refreshments. It also acquired the name Betsy's Sofa. Pretty sure it was used as an underground version of a fainting couch. Of course, ladies, in keeping with the fashion of the time, wear the flaring chop chop. No, you're okay. You're okay. I'm sorry, folks. I really am. I will tell you this, though. If you want a photographic tour, you can book that. And then you can take all the time you want. And if you want a personal tour, I've given them where they're much longer than this. You can book that too. Okay. All right, folks, the trail is narrow, so please be careful.
You got him? Yeah, it's wet.
You know, and I think there is a bench right over there. Okay. Everyone doing okay? Very good. You're okay.
No, that's that.
I certainly received fish right over there. Did you grab one?
What?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you have just stepped into Jefferson's Hall, named, of course, for the third president. Now, he was next door to us in Medicine Cave, where he mapped it in the 1780s. Now, this chamber here, we're pretty sure was used as a rest stop during the 19th century. They would have made it a print by now. You see the average tour back then, given the treacherous nature of the trails and no electricity, the average length of a tour was about 5 hours. A lot longer than today.
What?
I say no electricity.
Yeah, they have no electricity there. Okay. Here we go. Yeah.
Now the croc here is a
Everybody
reproduction.
took it off?
The original is right there. That is the real deal. They had to have sources of water in here back in the day because people got thirsty like they do. And if you stick somebody in a cave like this for 5 hours, well, it's not like you're going to pop in and then pop back out and get something to drink. Well, understand that the water is saturated with calcium. You would never want to drink too much of this unless if you have really good feelings about getting kidney stones. That's a good way of being and
Carry me, Daddy.
all right, folks, stay to the left of
Okay.
Penny Rock.
Ready? Oh. I don't know. Here.
Just leave me know if my car.
That's every day.
They used to catch that water and drink it if they had to.
Wow.
Oh, the rails.
Well, now on the left, that would be right there. That would be drink. Here. Or here.
Look at Mom. Her picture.
Well, yes and no. Because of the entire transactions and so with the unit, it's coming up here. But it is shaking it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me welcome you to Jackson's Hall, named for Confederate General Thomas Jonathan Jackson, otherwise known as Stonewall. His army was in the immediate area, and the last battle of his Shenandoah Valley campaign, namely the Battle of Port Republic, was fought just 3 to 4 miles to our north. Now, the unusual shield formation in my light up at the ceiling, given its 4-slide profile, acquired the name Jackson's
That
horse,
just goes around.
a reference to Little Sorrel, of course. But Jackson never referred to his horse as Little Sorrel. He called the horse Fancy. Do you note your vertical lines?
Way out.
Yeah, there's a way out. We're gonna go on the way out.
Your attention opposite. I want you to look at this formation behind you. Going number 295 bypass. Look at this here. Now, since the 19th century, the formation has been called the Tower of Babel. Terminology comes from the Genesis narrative of the Old Testament. What you're looking at is the largest freestanding calcite formation in the entire 3.8 mile cavern system. That includes both the wild side and this side. It is roughly 30 feet tall and approximately 80 feet in circumference around the base, and it's covered in all this beautiful flowstone. Now we think you are looking at a massive stalagmite. Speaking of which, if you look over here, you have a very rare and unusual double stalagmite formation, known today as the Statue of Liberty, previously known as the Roman soldier, and your Victorian friends knew of it as Cleopatra's Needle. And by the way, in this immediate area, you are now standing on this side of the cave at its lowest point. You are now roughly 200 vertical feet below the surface of Cave Hill.
I know, look at
So
that.
welcome to Downham.
It is.
All right, folks.
That's so cool.
Folks, if you
What
will
does the
follow
statue
me
look like?
into the shield room.
Let's go up.
Note the massive shield in my life to the right. I'm sorry.
No, not here.
They
Cause
are. Very, very good eye. We'll talk about that. Well, folks, this area is called the Shield Room because right here on this side of the cavern, there are more shields concentrated than on any other spot on this side. There are over 30 shields in the immediate area. For example,
just stay with me a moment.
note the beautiful three right here, the baby above, this one, that
Bootskirts,
They have bugs.
really tight
Okay.
corsets,
Oh, we haven't seen
giving
any
them
yet.
that hourglass
bats.
profile.
No, no bats here
The problem
because it's
is
too
that
loud
with
for
some
bats.
ladies, the corset cut off a little too much oxygen and they passed out. They fainted. Hence the need for a fainting couch in such events. Very typical. This is probably your only chance in your entire lifetime to see an underground subterranean version of such. Over here very quickly, this hole in the wall. Primary documentation, historical documentation of the period indicates that this was the ladies' dressing room. That is what it was called. Ladies could not wear their fine ball gowns into the cave on the original trail system without destroying them. They would get in there and change and come back out for the dance. I have been in there. I can stand up in there without any problem. There's signatures all over the walls, and undoubtedly from a number of the women here for the dance. The bass drum here, cut off at the bottom. You'll note the white calcite impact points against the brown cave rust. Someone would take a solid object and strike that thing, and it would go boom for sound effects. I've heard that done once, and you would be surprised how loud it is given the acoustics of the chamber. Maybe your origin of, shall I say, rock music. Now that's your cue to hit your own drum. The pool of water here is man-made. It is called a reflection pool, installed in the 1970s. The concept is that of a liquid mirror reflecting the ceiling as you look into the floor. All right, folks, follow me up Richmond's Hill. At the top is Fat Man's Misery, a 19th century designation.
Yeah.
It was a tight squeeze back then. About 130 years ago, they used dynamite to enlarge it. It's still low on this end, so watch your heads beneath it. All right, folks, we're going to take a drop here. I want you to hold the rail. Hold the rail.
Got a good grip on them? Yeah, hold on to the rail, Titus.
Careful, careful. Hold the rail. I'd hate to say, have a nice trip. See you next fall. I know, terrible, isn't it?